Hamas and full of opportunity. How do you envision a transition to a non-Hamas security and governance in Gaza?
Well, that's a central question and not an easy one to solve, obviously. We've engaged with partners. There was an Egyptian-led effort for a while. There's a Saudi effort now. We've obviously engaged with our regional partners to come up with the constructs of what that looks like. Not, to be frank, I mean, in the midst of the conflict ongoing, most of the attention has been paid to the humanitarian situation and the freeing of the hostages and multiple failed efforts at a ceasefire, which are ongoing and continue, and the hopes of ending this and the cessation of hostilities at some point. But thought has been given to it. But I think at the core of it is, I think we can find the funds to do it. I think you can find the partners to do it. I think the central question for the future of Gaza is going to be who governs it. Because as long as there's a group like Hamas there, it's going to be very difficult to envision long-term peace and prosperity. So whether it's Hamas or some successor organization that spins out of it, that has to be a factor that you eliminate. And one of the ways you prevent it is by having a governing authority on the ground in Gaza that can provide the security necessary to allow there to be the peace necessary so you can have the prosperity we hope for.
I want to talk, last question, in terms of American energy. Last year, the Biden administration chose to pause approvals of pending LNG exports. We know that Europe needs those. It created a lot of uncertainty. President Trump has promised in his unleashing American energy, he's removed a lot of the obstacles. Our LNG exports have surged. I think it's going to help in Europe. European countries have increased their purchases of U.S. LNG. How has lifting this pause that Biden put on here restored confidence in America as a reliable partner to Europe?
Well, obviously, I was just commenting a moment ago, I believe on Saturday, the first LNG shipment reached Italy. And there are other countries that are building terminals to receive it as well. So the fact that the United States joins now in the world as a reliable long-term source of liquefied natural gas as an export, I think improves our ties and our partnerships around the world. And it's a need for us because we have the capacity to export it and to develop it. And it's a need for our allies who need to diversify and in some cases make less dependent their system of generating electricity. It's a fundamental problem for multiple countries, for example, in Europe. It's not just the energy they need now, it's the energy they're going to need in the years to come. If you do an audit of where they're going to wind up needing, they don't have any way to generate that now unless they rely on things like U.S. exports of LNG. And that alone even won't be enough. They're going to have to find some other resources as well.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Barrasso.